You're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
With your host, Beto Barragan.
And we all know that when the good Lord created man, he meant for him to look just like me.
And Alex Lewicki.
The tower of power, too sweet to be sour. I'm funky like a monkey. Sky's the limit and space is the place.
The podcast made by fans for wrestling fans.
One sweet, one sweet, one sweet, one sweet.
You're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast. Chinese food and Chinese kung fu movies.
Yes.
That's right. That's the kind of conversations we have. It is I, Beto Barragan, and with me, as always, the Wrestling Wikipedia.
Alex Lewicki. What's going on, folks? Happy post-WrestleMania. Episode 20.
How are you feeling after everything that just went down?
Tired. Very tired. There's a lot of wrestling, dude. A lot of wrestling.
Yeah. I mean, we have obviously a lot to cover. We actually have some notes in hand because it was just so much content. So please forgive us if we sound cringy at times when it comes to reading some of this stuff because, again, you know, you're trying to pack in, what, over 16 hours maybe?
Yeah, just about. Figure. Depends if you're alive or you weren't. If you were alive, you're probably seeing, I think the first stuff started Thursday afternoon.
I mean, you know what, though? It's just nice to see that wrestling has made its comeback, so to speak. I feel like this was kind of wrestling, like a party for wrestling fans. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, it's their Super Bowl. It's their All-Star break. It's essentially the NBA All-Star game, but with wrestlers. You get the best of the best from around the world. Basically, the whole business at the time was making money. WWE is kind of like the head of the snake, for lack of a better term.
Right.
But then the rest of the business has Progress, Evolve,
Ring of Honor, which we will cover later on.
Making tons of cash. So it's really due to WWE and this monster of WrestleMania that it's caused. Like, it's not only Sundays anymore. It runs from Thursday until they're still doing a SmackDown in New Orleans today.
Wow, man.
So they're in Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, almost a full week in one area.
Yeah.
One territory, just wrestling. And it's like,
we've been watching, like, you know, various videos, as I'm sure everyone else has, about like just anybody who's anybody is in New Orleans for the most part.
Yeah, for sure.
You can walk down, the famous Bourbon Street. You can walk down there. You could run into almost anybody.
Dude, the pictures I was seeing on Instagram and Twitter, people just running into like Okada, Tomohiro Ishii on the side of the street, and they're like, they look happy to take pictures with you.
Yeah,
like,
man.
I was listening to something, and Tommy Dreamer's like, yeah, I ended up underneath a cabana with some guy under like pouring rain, just talking about wrestling. He says the whole city basically turns into wrestling fans. So
That's
yeah,
awesome,
dude, it turns into this weird mecca. Like every
it's
year,
like a mecca.
It turns into a new place that you have to go to.
You know what? I'm just gonna throw that out there because we're putting this over. But big props to our listeners who came out to El Luchador on Thursday.
Oh, for sure.
Because you know what? Without you guys, this doesn't happen. So I just want people to know that, like, we are huge fans of wrestling. We're huge fans of local music, local everything, man. We love San Antonio. We love our city. And, you know, doing, like, events like Wrestle Trivia, things like that. Like, that's the kind of stuff we want to, like, make that our thing. But we also kind of want to, like, cover wrestling in general in Texas, in San Antonio, in or around the area, if you will. You know what I mean? But, you know, big props to you guys for coming to hang out with us.
Yeah,
on
and props
Thursday.
to you guys for being interactive with us. We love that part. I mean, feeding off of you when, you know, you're jabbing at us is a really fun part of this. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to doing more and, you know, getting to see. It was a new crowd, which was awesome, too. You see new people.
Yeah, it was nice to see new people out there. You know, tell your friends, let everybody know, like, this is something that, you know, we could have, and eventually we can turn this into, like, you know, we can start doing, like, you know, multiple events there and whatnot. Once again, thanks to our Luchador fans for coming out.
Absolutely.
And hanging out with us. And I call them fans. That's all gaucho, dude. I don't want to be like that. Just friends, man. We're buds. I mean, it's great to always hang out with your buds and talk wrestling.
Yeah, the banter between the people in the crowd was really fun.
Oh, yeah. They had a blast. We had a blast, too. All right. So let's get down to the nitty-gritty. WrestleMania weekend. The Hall of Fame 2018. What were your favorite points? What were your least favorite points?
I'll tell you, I skipped the Ivory part and the Warrior speech. You know, the
Warrior Award.
That's it, the Warrior Award. I skipped that. I skipped Ivory, like I said. That was about it. My highlights, obviously, Mark Henry, probably the best speech I've heard in a while. Hillbilly Jim surprised me. I didn't know what to expect. I almost fast forwarded through that, but it felt more, we were talking about this earlier on the ride here. It felt more in depth and kind of like, hey, this is for the boys in the back. Save your money. Take every opportunity that this company and this business gives you and just enjoy the ride because it's going to take care of you. And it's like, I like hearing that. I will say
messages.
Yeah, dude, the messages were deep. The Dudleys were really cool. It was a little long for my taste.
Yeah.
But what I wasn't expecting, and I got so hyped for it when I saw it, was the Legacy, when they show all the wrestlers from the 30s and the 40s.
Oh yeah, dude, that was cool.
El Santo,
I really enjoyed that. Yeah.
Hiro Matsuda. I pop for that stuff.
You know what? Let's
Lord
talk
Alfred
about
Hayes in
that.
a wrestling gear.
I'm glad you brought that up because you know what? The cool thing that when I look at the Hall of Fame ceremony,
Yeah.
you think Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, right? They have a building. I want to say WWE is going to start looking into building a Hall of Fame building
One day.
I mean, that's the talk.
It'd be smart for him to do.
And I imagine those pictures like kind of like the filler in the walls kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that, and like this is your, you know, we're gonna show you a bronze statue of Ivory. Let's just say,
Yeah.
okay. And then this is the stuff that, you know, we could find. You know, I don't know. I'm just thinking like in the mind, they really presented that well. Visually, they presented that very well.
It was interesting because I'm not going to go too far into it because
yeah.
there was a lot that I liked, but within a short amount of I want to say they probably had a minute to a minute and a half for each of the Legacy members. They gave you a really good in-depth, here's who they were, here's why they were important,
right?
And then here's why we are now putting them. This is why they're important for our industry.
Facts.
Yeah,
I love that, dude.
Oh, I also skipped Kid Rock.
You know what, dude? All right. I know, when Dylan Dunbar was here from Heavy Metal Wrestling, when he was here with us, you know, we had this whole conversation back and forth. Fred Durst and Fred Durst's Roland versus Kid Rock's American Badass, right? Kid Rock's speech was, to me, it wasn't bad. It served its purpose. It was quick. It was short and sweet. That was it. He was just there as the celebrity guy, and he did say, actually, he got one of the bigger pops of the night. During his speech, he was walking around. They told him, So they told me in the back not to thank Vince McMahon because he doesn't like all the fanfare and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then another thing, don't bring up politics.
Oh, okay.
So he says something to the effect of, well, let's be honest, without him, none of this would be possible. So give it up. Oh, I'm playing guitar strings over here. On a Doom sludge band now. Anyway,
Yes. Dude, let's start a Doom sludge.
we should start a Doom. Toxic sludge is what we're gonna call it.
No. I got a better one.
All right, what is it?
Mariana's Trench.
Mariana's
Because we're so heavy.
Dang. Sorry, I had to get some water there. Mouth's kind of dry. So yeah. What was it? Where were we at? What was it talking about?
Kid Rock.
Kid Rock. Yeah. It was fun. It was hilarious when he said basically like gave his thanks to Vince McMahon, and then he says, "Man, all this testosterone makes me want to like body slam some Democrats." Oh my gosh, dude! Like, I was surprised.
Classy. That's classy.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And like, but he did cover his tracks, and I think it was kind of like he made good. You know what I'm saying? Like he didn't like he didn't.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
To me, a lot of the other ones, I don't know, man. They all had really great points. Double J's was nice.
It was. I didn't know what to expect from it.
Cringy at the end, though.
I stopped when he started
They
singing.
shouldn't have done it. I mean, it would have been funny, but you're only going to get that over if, like, like Bruce Pritchard.
Yes.
And that connect there, which
sure.
I feel like that should have been kind of a part of it. But they did kind of show his old vignettes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's as Bruce Pritchard as we're going to get.
Yeah. Well,
You
for
know.
now, I'm sure.
For now.
We'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
You'll see.
Well, his show's going to be on WWE Network now.
Yes. And.
Congrats to him.
Yeah, for sure. And he's coming to San Antonio in September, I think.
At the Aztec Theater.
Yep.
So pretty cool. Yeah, I liked Hillbilly Jim's speech. Felt like it kind of ran long. Just for my taste, but I did appreciate the overall message of opportunity.
Yes.
Now, the Dudley Boys thing, for me, man, I couldn't get behind it. Like the guy going through the table and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We were talking about that. We both agreed. Like that was like kind of like, that was a little too much, man.
You could have stopped right.
Oh, my brother, testify. That would have been it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Much like the Jeff Jarrett thing.
I will say I was not surprised in a good way that they mentioned Spike Dudley.
I liked it.
It was classy. It was a good class act. Like, yeah, that guy broke his ass for this team, the company we were with, and our career.
Yeah.
So it's nice to see that, they gave him props where he needed it.
I felt like that one was one of the most real.
Mm-hmm. I'm sad they didn't say thanks to Joel Gertner, though. Joel the Stud Muffin Gertner.
I mean, enlighten us.
About what?
Joel the Stud Muffin.
Oh, do you remember Joel Gertner?
I don't remember him.
Okay, so Joel Gertner was I don't want to say he was their manager, but he was like this talking mouthpiece.
Okay.
For the Dudleys. So he was more their introduction hype man. But are you familiar with in the 60s and 70s there was a guy by the name of Blowfly?
No.
Okay. Blowfly was this gentleman who would make records, really crude sounding songs.
Okay.
Like kids, patch your ears, don't listen to
like
this.
David Allan Coe kind of stuff?
No, I mean more like there was.
I don't know if that was David Allan Coe.
There's a song. There's a song called "She's Too Fat to Fuck."
Oh, okay.
So it's like real vulgar.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So
Got you.
Joel Gertner is kind of that, like, he's very sexualized and
wow.
Joel, I'll make them quiver, but he does it in like a Dolomite, Blowfly, hip kind of way.
Got you.
It was awesome. He was really funny. I'm gonna have to show you some highlights.
Okay,
of him.
yeah,
because he's
sure.
a really good mouthpiece too.
I'll tell you what, man. I'm not gonna lie. Who could have used a mouthpiece was Ivory during her speech. I'm not gonna lie. I saw it. See, here's the thing, man. With me, like WrestleMania is one of those experiences that you gotta like experience, even if you're not even there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like you gotta watch. Like for me, I watched the whole Hall of Fame, and like even I sat through it, dude. I stomached through it.
I forgot Goldberg got inducted. I didn't even watch it.
Dude, I have some. Okay.
I didn't watch it. I stopped after.
Well, see, at least one of us is a journalist here. At least that. I'm just
Wow.
saying. So, as my journalistic integrity, which includes an associate's degree to the university.
My journalist degree is just watching Hunter S. Thompson movies.
For free.
For free. Paragonzal journalism.
Oh my gosh. No, dude, Mark Henry's speech.
Oh,
dude,
top notch. If a man
top
ever,
shelf, dude.
If a man ever could, oh my God, brain fart here. Imagine you get AOP, not with Paul Ellering, with Mark Henry.
Oh my gosh.
Make them these just destructive powers.
Yeah.
Come on.
That'd be pretty awesome. Like the new nation, in a sense.
You could do it. Add Samoa Joe.
Oh,
make him like the Samoan whatever.
Dude,
the Rock being.
Why not? It just
Samoa
be the
Joe.
Nation,
the Samoan Nation.
But the Samoan Nation.
They have enough Samoan people. Nia Jax, make them these champions, dude.
It's like the new Heart Foundation kind of.
Yes.
Thing. Yeah.
Why wouldn't you? I don't think I've ever seen it past the head shrinkers.
And I don't know if this is like holds true or whatever. And maybe somebody who's watching on Instagrams can like enlighten me on this. But here's, I don't know if it's a saying that I heard somewhere, but I thought as long as there are Samoans in the WWE or wrestling, they will always have a job.
Yeah, I can see that.
Like,
or they're playing for USC.
You know what I'm saying? Like, they're always like going to be, in my opinion, I think you'll never see that bloodline go away in the WWE.
No, it's too lucrative.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
dude, there's like, what, 5-6 generations of wrestlers now? That's pretty tough.
We do have to, you know what? I remember one thing you said, and I'm sorry we're veering off topic, guys. So if you're watching Instagram, but I'll bring it back. You mentioned something to the effect of, we got to go through the Samoan family tree. We should totally do that.
For sure.
On an episode. We'll gather our facts and we'll do it all.
Oh, dude.
And then we go in and we'll talk the tree. Let's do it.
I'm into it. I'm going to go.
Speaking of the tree, the matriarch of that tree, The Rock's mom was there.
Yeah, and she was at WrestleMania.
Yes, supporting Nia Jax.
Yeah, that was really cool.
That was cool, man. She took her to all the events, to the Hall of Fame and to
That's nice.
Everything, dude. That's pretty cool. But, look, veering off topic, Mark Henry, in my eyes, top shelf speech, giving love to his kids. His son looks like he's going to probably take up the mantle when he gets older.
Yeah, he's got some charisma.
I think he's going to try to pull that when he gets older. Goldberg's speech, dude, I don't know. If anybody can correct me on this, or if you want to argue about it, please, set me straight. Goldberg's speech kind of came off a lot like. Here's the thing with Paul Heyman. Paul Heyman inducted him.
I didn't see that. I would rather watch Paul Heyman inducting.
Paul Heyman cuts a promo at the Hall of Fame on Roman. It was perfect. Just keeping that character alive, dude.
Right on.
Just great. Paul Heyman's just amazing, dude. Just amazing.
Paul Heyman's the man.
So he says basically that he respects this man as a father, and he wishes that he could be half the man to his son that he could be to his son.
That's nice.
That's why he's inducting him. I thought it was class. I thought that was just top shelf of him to say that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Goldberg came out. He did his thing. To me, it felt like, okay, wrestling was like a demon for him. It was it was just something he wanted to put away. And then I guess he realized when his son was growing up, he was going to start having questions. So
Yeah. Were
he
you
had
a
to show
wrestler?
him,
Yeah.
all right, look, you get to see it.
Interesting.
You know?
That's weird.
And that was probably the only thing that I took away was it was for his son. But everything else, when he addressed his career, it was very weird and sounded very like he tried to make some jokes, but they came off like.
Does he sound like he didn't like
bitter?
Bitter
A
that
little
he.
bitter.
That's strange.
A little bitter, maybe like something with like, I don't know, dude. It was cringy, dude.
Huh.
It was very like you have to check it out and check it out for yourself.
Yeah.
See what you thought. But yeah, man, for sure.
Well, that's only part one of many little parts we're going to have during this podcast about what happened over this WrestleMania weekend. Next up, NXT and some other independent cards that took place during WrestleMania weekend in New Orleans.
Yeah, let's go ahead and give some shout outs.
Yeah, for sure.
Legend says there is a place in San Antonio where there are battles of the mind and trivia, loteria, and celebrations where we drink and dance to live music. El Luchador, located at 622 Roosevelt in Southtown San Antonio.
Friday, April 13th, Heavy Metal Wrestling returns to San Antonio, Texas at their new home, The Guillotine, with Psycho Holiday. Featuring the debut of Japanese comedy legend Kikutaro. Witness the mayhem and brutality of one of the best, most violent tag teams in the U.S. today, The Hooligan. Also scheduled to appear, the Heavy Metal Berserker Ruben Steele, Great Scott, Dylan Devine, Always Ready Cody Lane, and much more. Heavy Metal Wrestling live at The Guillotine, located at 1816 North Main Street. Get your tickets today at www.heavymetalwrestling.com. This card is subject to change. All ages permitted. Ages 18 and under must be accompanied by an adult. Must be 21 and up to drink.
You want to check out Heavy Metal Wrestling April 13th at the Guillotine. Tickets are only $10. You get 2 full bars. You get pro wrestling. You get a metal band called Chaotic End. Really awesome band. Going to be throwing it down out there. You get a food truck. What else do you need for $10?
I mean, metal and wrestling is pretty much what I would always want.
If there's nachos or tacos, that's a plus.
Yeah, and 2 full bars, didn't he say?
2 full bars, bro.
How can you go wrong?
Look, Heavy Metal Wrestling, April 13th. That's where you want to be. But look, let's talk about this huge weekend in New Orleans that, I mean, hey, look, not many people could get into WrestleMania. I don't know how much tickets are for WrestleMania.
There were a lot. And let me ask you.
But here's the cool thing. Hold up.
Yeah,
I'm sorry.
go for it, dude.
I'm just going to say this real quick. You had options. You had so many options to go to. If you couldn't afford to go to Mania, you could go to Ring of Honor. You could go to any other show that was there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's the beauty of it right now, is that wrestling has gotten that global to where,
No, legit, global.
you know what I'm saying?
You could, with the exception of my limited knowledge of certain regions,
Right.
you could look at any continent and say, there's a wrestling organization there. I'm sure there's something going on. The Young Bucks get brought down to Chile and Peru.
Oh, yeah.
So you figure there's some type of scene popping up. There was a guy from the Cruiserweight Classic that I think was from Peru. I could be
Possibly.
wrong. I could be wrong.
You might be right.
I think he was from a South American country. But you look at that. England has taken off over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
Germany, WXW. There's a big scene that's starting over there too. Russia, I'm sure there's something there. I just don't know.
Yeah,
But
for sure.
Australia, they've got their own thing going. You look at every continent in every country, you can find wrestling. And it's really cool now that there's been such a resurgence of wrestling.
Perfect word. I love that.
I feel it. This is going to sound strange, but ride with me on this.
Okay.
The influx of these comic book movies and the interest in comic books, I think, made it okay for people to kind of come out and say, oh, yeah, I like other things too, like wrestling.
Yeah.
You know, what would be deemed nerdy has
Yeah.
now kind of, You look at CM Punk, he drew comics.
Oh yeah, Jerry the King Lawler.
Comics. I mean, there's a big correlation between comics and wrestling.
Well, of course, because back in the 80s back in the 80s, Alex is going doom metal on me now. Back in the 80s, you had all these characters that were larger than life. They were basically superheroes. Comic book heroes, essentially wrestling heroes, superstars. So, I mean, you've got I love the fact that there's so much variety, and one of those bigger promotions was Ring of Honor. But before we get into the Ring of Honor Supercard of Honor, you were telling me about Matt Riddle's Bloodsport and things like that. Like, give me some of the highlights, or at least a couple of matches.
I'll give you a couple things. Okay, so for those who don't know, Matt Riddle, ex-UFC fighter, put on a show this past weekend called Matt Riddle's Bloodsport.
Okay.
So the concept was, it was a red mat on the canvas, 4 posts, no ropes.
Okay.
The only way you can win is knockout or submission.
Wow,
dude, it looked really cool. I finally got to see the main event of Matt Riddle and Minoru Suzuki. And Minoru Suzuki was a legit shoot fighter in the 90s. And I want to say he was part of UWF. I could be wrong. He could have been part of Shuto or Pancrase. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But he was a legit fighter. So he has a good background of jiu-jitsu, just mixed martial arts in general. Very early onset of it. I don't know how well he is now. But Matt Riddle, obviously, ex-UFC fighter. He has a really Daniel Puder-esque, even the better version of Daniel Puder.
Yeah.
But
let me ask you something.
Shoot.
So the are they just rolling around on the mat, or like?
No, dude, there was legit strikes. Like, no close fists. It was more like open palm and like
palm strikes.
You didn't see any super like Boss Root and palm strikes, but it was more like slap boxing almost.
Okay.
It was really effective because there's a point where Matt Riddle gets, and I'm sorry if anybody does jiu-jitsu, and I'm probably going to butcher this, but I think he does like an omoplata on Suzuki. So he's got his arm wrenched back, and he just smacks him on his side just to kind of mess with him, and he gets up, and then it was it was a short match. It was like about 10 or 11 minutes, but it was really cool to see these two like legit badasses kind of
they're sparring.
Have a shoot fight.
They're sparring.
Yeah, it was exactly. It was a sparring match.
Yeah.
But it was like a public sparring match with a little bit of
flair to
it.
Yeah.
It was really
That's pretty cool, man.
It was really cool.
I dig that.
I heard there was a excuse me, guys. There was a Joey Janela's spring break happened.
Mm-hmm.
And independent wrestler Joey Janela, I guess he puts this on every year. This year, the one highlight I heard was that he and the great Sasuke had a match, and I want to say people were saying it ended at around like 3:30 in the morning. So, that's a bit hardcore.
Yeah.
Awesome though. Look, if you went out to that, props to you. That's amazing. You got to see a good card. The aforementioned when I was saying earlier, Walter, a big German behemoth looking guy.
Uh-huh.
Went up against an ex-WWE, WWF French-Canadian wrestler. I don't remember his name off the top of hand. But you see the photo of what Walter did after he chopped him. His chest looked like ground beef.
Oh, man.
Like, this dude's hand looks like a mitt. And
the guy's name is Walter? That's it? Just Walter?
I think he goes by Big Daddy Walter.
Oh, man.
But they just bill him as Walter.
It
seems like. Yeah. So I'm going to look for that match because I'm very interested. Rev Pro also put on a good card from what I heard. Some people are saying that they had the match of the weekend. And I'm pretty sure this happened here because Evolve also happened. So I might be mixing the cards up. But it was Matt Riddle again facing off against Zack Sabre Jr.
Nice.
I want to say they've gone at it before, but I would like to see that. But other than that, the big thing was NXT.
Oh, yeah.
The huge card was NXT.
Yeah, for sure. But we'll go into NXT in a little bit.
Okay.
We got to talk.
Okay.
We have to talk about Supercard of Honor.
Yes.
A lot has happened with WWE, but let's show some love to Supercard of Honor, which, by the way, shout out to our winners who received the pair of tickets for Ring of Honor June 15th at the Aztec Theater. So really awesome. Thank you guys for coming out to Wrestle Trivia again. We look forward to doing more stuff like that. But back to Supercard of Honor.
Yes.
Interesting matchups. I'm going to go ahead and try to give the brief rundown if I can.
Run it down for it.
Just let's bear with me on the names because when I wrote this, it was like 3 a.m.
And remember what I said. I will help you.
Okay.
We're in it together.
So Chucky T goes over Jonathan Gresham. Punishment Martinez,
Who we've seen.
yes, goes over Tamori Ishii.
Tomohiro Ishii. Really?
Yeah.
You've seen Tomohiro Ishii wrestle before.
Yes.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
That seemed like a really good match. I'm going to go look for that.
Yeah. That was on Supercard of Honor. What else do we have here? Kota Ibushi goes over on Hangman Page.
Really?
Yeah. I heard it was a
Nice.
good match. I heard it was pretty good. I mean,
I might look for it.
Hangman's pretty good.
Yeah.
Hangman can go, dude. I like Hangman.
Yeah, I've grown on him significantly. He's awesome.
I think it's just like the way they portray him on being the elite and stuff like that. Like he's kind of like a sub character.
I hear that.
But no, dude, that guy can go. He deserves a little bit more of a push. Just saying. If being the elite decides to
Continue.
yeah. Let's see. The first ever Woman of Honor Championship.
Oh.
Sumi Sukai, I believe I'm saying that
You
right.
probably couldn't say it better.
Goes over Kelly. You know what? I'm gonna say Kelly K. I apologize. My thumb just totally wiped that. That's what you get when you write on a whiteboard. ladies and gentlemen.
under the jar.
That's right. Would anybody like a peanut? Ring of Honor 6-man tag match. SoCal over the Young Bucks and Flip Gordon.
I want to see this. That seemed like a really good match.
I saw some highlights of it, and there were a lot of high energy spots. And the Bucks and Flip together is very creative and innovative. I would really I would recommend this match to anybody. They did a lot of cool high flying spots, obviously, but really good storytelling in the match.
Yeah, Team SoCal, they're pretty good from what I've seen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Flip Gordon, I think is going to be one of those not rookie of the year when he gets to NXT because he's going to NXT.
Oh, he's going to be breakout.
Yeah,
he'll probably get that North American Championship, which we'll cover in just a second. But back to it. Ring of Honor TV champion match and a last man standing match. Our boy, Silas Young,
yes,
goes over on Kenny King. Dude, if you haven't seen Silas Young wrestle, I definitely and highly recommend that you get the opportunity to purchase a ticket from the Aztec Theater. Check out June 15th, Ring of Honor Wrestling, coming to San Antonio. You definitely want to see Silas Young wrestle. Alex showed me this guy, what was it, like 2 years ago?
Just about.
Yeah. And I was like, this guy is like a legit badass. Very mixture of like Jake the Snake and very Stan Hansen, old school era wrestling, which is really awesome. Of course, if you haven't heard by now, Cody went over on Kenny Omega.
Yeah.
The Bucks super kick Kenny instead of Cody, which is who they were aiming for. And Brandy takes a knee trigger and goes through the table.
Shout out to her. She is such an awesome...
She's a trooper, man.
She's an awesome wrestler. She's an awesome, actress, I guess you could call her. On Being the Elite, it really comes across she seems really nice, but she can play not nice when she needs to.
She definitely is probably one of the... You know what? It seems like it's natural. The way she comes across, it's genuine. All of them, it comes across as genuine and natural. They're all really good.
Yeah.
And I mean, dude, shout out to Brandy, dude, for Brandy Rhodes for going through a table.
Yeah. That's true. That's very true. I mean,
so what do you think, man? What do you think where we're going with the Bullet Club now?
Last week I would have said they're all going to break up, but after tonight, or I'm sorry, after watching Being the Elite,
Yeah.
after watching what happened at Supercard of Honor, I think they're going to stay together.
You think so?
Yeah. Maybe minus Cody. That's
can
my
see that.
that's my only concession to the whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's just going to be one giant ruse to get him out or, something. But I don't see this being, I'm going to cut the brass tacks, financially a good idea for them to stop being the Bullet Club.
No, not at all. You can't get rid of them. You can't right now.
Especially for them still having All In.
Oh, yeah. They have that all-in show, so, I mean...
Okada is going to be at that show. That is awesome.
Dude, a lot of people are going to be at that show.
10,000 seats. Once I saw Okada, that 10,000 seats is going to be easy to fill.
Yeah. Yeah.
If they can
for
do it
sure.
in Long Beach, they can definitely do it in
Pentagon
Chicago.
Jr. is going to be there.
Yeah.
Who else is going to be there? There's quite a few people that are going to be there.
I want to say Flip is going to get. He needs to.
Who else is
I
going
think
to
Deanna Purrazzo, Marty.
Yeah, she's going Marty.
All the
Of course, the Bullet Club.
Yeah.
There's another name. Tessa Blanchard.
Oh yeah.
Tessa Blanchard's going to be there. That would mean that what's his name would probably go. Cage? Is it Adam Cage? Chris Cage or something like that? That dude's a monster. Have you seen that guy? He's like this really big jacked guy with a faux hawk or something.
No.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah.
He's a big dude. He would fit very well in like WWE and stuff like that.
Interesting.
Well, maybe like back in the Batista days
Oh yeah.
when like they had a bunch of big guys like running around and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But yeah, man, we'll see what happens with the Bullet Club. Dalton Castle goes over on Marty Scurll, and that was for the ROH title.
Yeah, I still think it's smart for them to keep the title on Dalton Castle. He's a good wrestler. I think for your company, he's got that character that's kind of cocky but kind of strange. So yeah, I could see him staying for at least maybe through the summer, maybe dropping it or something. So I don't know.
Only time will tell. But let's jump on over to NXT.
I'm into it.
All right. So Baszler, Shayna Baszler is a women's champ.
So I missed this match.
Okay.
I had just started watching and there was some connection issues and it finally started working after the match. Like
Media error.
basically ended. No, it just wouldn't. Like I kept getting that weird circle that was like,
Oh,
it's
my
loading,
gosh.
buffering.
No way,
Buffering.
dude.
Happened at WrestleMania too. I was like, oh, cool. I'm gonna miss the high spots of everything. And
I've
there's
noticed. Is it just the amount of content that's on the network? Or
no,
what
I think
is
it's
it?
the amount of people all at one time.
Oh my gosh.
Because I heard there was like some 3 million,
They're gonna have to buy bigger bandwidth if they're gonna have more shows coming on too.
especially if they want to start doing like super high definition, which I hope they do one day.
Yeah.
But anyway, back to NXT.
Well, what do you think? Shayna Baszler is a women's champ. Is it too soon?
No, they needed to get the title off of Ember Moon.
Right.
It was time for Ember Moon to get called up, which
We'll cover later.
yeah,
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. But it was smart. It legitimized the title by giving it to a Ronda Rousey-esque fighter.
Right.
So, in that sense, no, I'm glad. She's good for her. If she's worked for it, then she deserves it.
This is where I have to tie in the next topic with her winning the title. The first North American champion, Adam Cole, baby.
That match, dude. It almost got match of the night before the main event.
Yeah, for sure.
It was
For sure.
Oh, no. There was 3. Damn, there's a 3-way tie for match of the night.
Everything. See, here's the thing. And remember what I said, what was it, 2 episodes back? I wish there was a guy that had 2 tablets with the card and mixed them on accident. Because in reality, in my opinion, NXT was WrestleMania. Now, we'll talk a little bit more about that later on because we're about NXT right now. But you were saying there was a few matches that were match of the night.
Yeah, I've got to tie, first off, the ladder match.
Yeah.
EC3 did a great job. Ricochet did a great job. Killian Dane and Lars, I want to keep calling him Frederick because I like Punk.
Yeah.
But Lars Sullivan.
Yeah.
And who am I missing?
Velveteen
Velveteen Dream and Adam Cole. Velveteen Dream is my breakout star of the year.
Definitely.
Definitely.
I agree with that.
Ricochet, he's going to do well as long as they
That's
don't.
next year.
Ricochet?
That's next year.
You think so? We'll wait and see. Mark
Maybe Flip.
if he shows up. But
Yeah.
all of them did great. The
Yeah.
next match of the night wasn't even the main event. It was for the NXT Heavyweight Championship. Dude, Cien Almas
Oh, yeah.
against Aleister Black. Damn. I thought Cien Almas couldn't do any better than wrestling Johnny Gargano. I was wrong.
Yeah.
This match was awesome.
Yeah.
Dude, the one thing I remember writing down while I was watching this is it really shows Cien Almas's his adaptation.
Yes.
He can wrestle technical.
with
he
anybody.
can wrestle like a slugger, lucha style.
Dude, let's just throw this out there. Let's just do it. AJ Styles versus Cien Almas. Both can do that. They're both great at adapting.
I could see that.
They're both great at adapting styles. They're both great at there goes Alex with his death metal.
Yeah, boys.
He's doing it. Yeah, so we're still working on the studio, so apologies
We're
for
good.
all the noises and stuff. Okay. Yeah, dude.
Almas
Cien Almas
against AJ Styles.
against AJ Styles would be awesome.
It'd be a good SummerSlam match.
But your boy, Roderick Strong,
Dude, yes.
has joined the Undisputed
I'm
Era.
so happy.
Dude, that was a great move.
I'm so happy.
Perfect move.
And remember how I said I had a note for this?
Yeah.
Dig. So, the day after at Access,
Yeah.
British Strong Style reunited. So, you've got the Undisputed Era, and now you have British Strong Style.
Yeah.
Pete Dunne,
Oh, yeah. dude.
Tyler Bate, and Trent Seven. Now, these guys used to be in Progress Wrestling.
Mhm.
I think they still might be able to jump back and forth. I don't really know what their contract is because it
Yeah.
seems like they could do independence. But anyway, so 3-on-3, figure at some point they're going to have a War Games match.
Yeah, so Roderick Strong joining up with the Undisputed Era. Aleister Black is the new NXT champion. Are you excited for all these changes happening?
I am, and I'm especially excited about Johnny Gargano beating Tommaso Ciampa.
Yes.
That match was brutal in such a good way.
Great storytelling.
Oh, my God.
Great storytelling, man. Like, that's good stuff. That's good stuff.
It was a good match. It was a fantastic match. Great card.
Yeah.
Top to bottom.
So I guess Johnny Gargano is moving on, or is he staying?
You know what? Since SmackDown's going on right now, I know Cien Almas for sure should go up.
Yeah, so we're actually recording this for Thursday. For those of you that are listening to this, or a little later, we generally show the shows at 7:00. But everybody that's watching on Instagram, we appreciate you guys sticking around with us. But yeah, you were saying. I'm sorry.
Hold on. We're going to get it back.
I totally did that.
We're going to
My
get
bad.
it back. Oh, Cien Almas going to be on SmackDown. Okay. Because we're not watching SmackDown right now,
Oh, right.
I'm hoping that Cien Almas does get put up onto SmackDown. Now, because of this superstar shakeup that's going to happen, I still see him staying in SmackDown. That's his show. That should be the show where he goes against Styles.
Oh, yeah.
Nakamura. You know, he's going to be more familiar there. God, who else? Roderick Strong? No. Johnny Gargano? Yes.
He's
It's a
moving
very
on.
reluctant yes, kind of like Ty Dillinger,
Oh,
where it's like you can go up, but what's it gonna do?
Johnny Gargano should stay in NXT a little longer.
But how long has he been there? I feel like he's been there
for
a
a while.
long time.
I mean, do they keep him and his wife together?
I don't think so.
No, right?
No, I mean, I think putting him up to SmackDown, it's a good introduction to the WWE universe.
WWE universe. Right. I got you.
Ultimately, when he gets moved to Raw and then she gets moved to Raw, everything will work out. But right now, I think he should be moving up. Other than that, I don't know. I don't have too many people on my radar to say, yeah, they need to go up.
Okay. I think that's a pretty good assessment from the Wikipedia of wrestling.
All here, man.
It's all here.
I just pointed to my head for the people that are just listening.
Yeah, that's true. We plan on going video soon.
And if you are watching us on Instagram, make sure you look on our Instagram page, One Sweet Wrestling, and just keep a lookout because we will tell you when we are going live.
Yeah, we're going to be going live quite frequently, probably every week when we do like a little pre-show / you get the full show, full effect kind of thing. Let me give another few more shout-outs here.
If you're looking for a unique, clean, and comfortable shop to get your next tattoo, check out the artists at Galaveras Tattoos. They're located downtown San Antonio at 628 South St. Mary's, just north of Cesar Chavez. Galaveras is home to some of the best, most experienced tattoo artists in San Antonio, and the only shop in town with 4 female artists on staff. Established in 2005, Galaveras Tattoos offers a variety of styles and the highest quality tattoos with a price that won't hurt your budget. So stop by for a consultation or give them a call to schedule one. It's easy. 210-227-7673. That's 210-227-7673. Calaveras Tattoos, San Antonio's favorite tattoo shop.
This is Jared Davis, author of To Be the Man comic, and you're listening to One Sweet Wrestling Podcast.
All right, so now we move on to the showcase of the Immortals, WrestleMania. What did you think?
First off, I've always loved that tagline, Showcase of the Immortals. It sounds so cool. Like, it feels like you're on top of Mount Atlas watching, like, Goliaths wrestle. It's one of the cooler things they've ever, like, gotten just to hold through. But, truthfully, one of the better WrestleManias of recent memory.
Awesome.
There weren't a lot of surprises, not a lot of backstage segments that were like guest heavy. Mm-hmm. So it felt like a straight up wrestling pay-per-view.
It sure did. You know what? I have to agree with you there because normally WrestleMania always gets bombarded with celebrities.
Yeah.
It gets bombarded with like a lot more showy, flashy stuff than your just typical. Like, we're here for a wrestling match, wrestling pay-per-view. I want to this is why we're here, wrestling. But I want to say it had a weird, strange feel, and forgive me, but I'm going to say like a Wrestle Kingdom type feel.
I was actually just about to say that.
Because something that I wanted to bring up to you was I was very much like, dude, where are the entrances?
Yeah.
Like WrestleMania to me was always about the big entrance, the big flashiness and all that. And it seems like this setup maybe for the stage, it wasn't
conducive.
Right, because they brought out a float of all things.
I think that was more for the Braun gimmick, just to say, oh, he can
but
flip
that was
this.
So cheesy for
it did look
it looked terrible for Sheamus and Cesaro to come out on a float like that.
Well, the float looked cheap.
Yeah.
Like, it looked like it was made for, like, a middle school float parade or something.
Right.
But
Going around in the parking lot.
Yeah. It's a fundraiser for
It's a fundraiser for the school dance. That's what it was. It's a fundraiser for the school dance. Oh, my gosh.
But, yeah, I see what you're saying. I thought, pardon me, the set itself.
Yeah.
The WrestleMania logo, the Titantron and all that, that was cool. I like that a lot better than what I saw last year. However, I will say there is something to be said about having an outdoor arena as a wrestling venue. There is a time where it comes into play where you need to be able to control the light.
Yeah.
And it looks cooler, yes.
Uh-huh.
But for some reason, being wrestling in the elements, it just seemed more grand. I don't know why. Like last year, I don't know what the numbers were from last year's arena to this year, but for some reason, this year's arena just seemed smaller.
It did.
Last year's arena was like that huge walkway.
Yeah,
that was almost ridiculously long.
Yeah.
Whereas this, it just seemed like all you all did was take a Raw set as far as the runway, and that was it. Like you're right. There was no grand.
They trimmed
entrance.
a lot of fat off
did.
of this.
Now,
whether it be for financial reasons, I mean the XFL's coming up. Whether it be and you got to cut back on some things to make room for more investment.
They used it wisely. They used it when they needed to.
It wasn't overdone.
Right. It wasn't
I
gaudy.
agree. It wasn't gaudy. Now, when you needed gaudy, you got it, and that was Charlotte Flair's entrance.
First off, I want to say that entrance was so awesome.
Wasn't
the fact
it
that they
great?
played the full Nature Boy song,
Yeah.
and I thought she was going to get carried down. Like they were going to like hoist her. And,
Oh, really?
But the more I think about it, the more it's probably a hazard in case they dropped her.
Oh, yeah.
But no, that was probably the best entrance of the night. The Triple H one, it feels like we see it every year. He's always like this skull guy.
With the motorcycle.
Yeah,
and
I'm
all
kind of like,
that.
all right,
Stephanie riding that motorcycle.
Yeah.
It just shows like, this is what we do in the weekends, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
This is our
Like,
Harley Club. It's like, all right, that's cool. But Nakamura had a really cool entrance. But did you see how not flashy the AJ one was? If anybody should have gotten like this grand, elaborate, badass entrance.
What happened there?
Hell, give him that mask he wore at Wrestle Kingdom.
There were a lot, that's the thing. There were a lot of missed, speaking of opportunities from
Hillbilly Jim.
Yeah. Missed opportunities.
There were.
Why? All right, I'm going to throw this out there because I didn't like it. You seem to have like a good amount of expectations for this, and I'm talking about the VR thing that they did for the entrances instead of like the elaborateness. Go ahead, give them your assessment on that.
What I'll say is, it took me aback when I saw it. I was like, "What the hell is this? I've never seen this before." And after I got the initial shock, I think it was with The Miz. I was like, "That's first off." It threw me off that nothing was going on. Like The Miz came out and was like, "There's no cool entrance," and then I looked away, and then I looked back, and all these words were shooting out in my screen. I was like,
"Okay,
huh, all right, that's something new." From what I heard, it looks cooler when you have your virtual reality, goggles on. I'm gonna test it out, and I'll get back to y'all about how it went.
Yeah, let me know about that.
I'm looking forward to seeing what the Oscar one looks like because that looked cool.
It looked cool, but it looked like, you remember Reboot? Remember Reboot? You don't remember Reboot?
Yes, with
dude.
Dude. Yeah, it was on ABC Family in the morning.
Reboot, bro.
Saturday at like 11 o'clock.
And
they tried to reboot.
They tried to reboot.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Okay, so back on topic.
Okay,
it did look like that.
It looked like
sure.
Reboot. It looked like that. And I was just kind of like, I'm used to a certain, like Rusev coming out with the tank.
Yeah.
Cena coming out with the car and like having, or the 1,000 Cenas.
Yeah.
More elaborateness. Undertaker finally shows up. What are your thoughts on that?
It was well done. It was well done.
Think it was just what they needed to do.
It was, they swerve you with Elias.
Yep.
And I legit was like, wow, he's really not. Me, the most skeptical person, was like, wow, they really are just going to play this off like, haha, we got you.
Yeah.
But it was cool to see him be there. But his entrance was longer than his match. I don't understand what the reasoning behind it was.
Because he can't. I mean, can he still go? Or was it? I mean, he showed he could still go, but this is like the allotted time I can do this.
That's my issue. I would have been completely fine with a 10-minute match if John Cena got some offense.
Oh, yeah, it was a squash match.
But it was a 2-minute and 52-second match of John Cena getting thrown around. And I love it, but he needs to retire it doing the old school. Doing one step, and it's kind of like, this is as much as I'm going to do.
I feel like it served its purpose for the story of John Cena, for the story arc of John Cena, if you will. So this is my take on it. John Cena is asking to dance with the devil. Devil being The Undertaker, the dead man. He finally got his dance with the devil. He's finally looked the devil in the eye and then the face. This could lead to either a heel turn, or this could lead to Cena turning into this anti-hero or whatever. Because realistically, if you have him turn on the kids, he's going to win favor from the older fans. But speaking of kids, Braun Strowman's new tag team partner, Nicholas.
As of Sunday, yes. A 10-year-old fourth grade boy is now a WWE Raw Tag Team Champion.
So when I saw this, I was like, are you kidding me? Right? But then I kind of noticed the little band around his wrist. Nicholas, So if you didn't catch this, Braun Strowman picks somebody out in the crowd to be his tag team partner and pulls a 10-year-old boy by the name of Nicholas and brings him up to the ring and puts him on the apron in his corner and says, "I'll take care of the rest. Just stand there." He actually got in the match, didn't he?
For like
they tagged
5
him
seconds.
He got tagged in. So this kid, I noticed he had like one of those things like from the hospital, like the little wristbands. You know what I'm talking about?
I see where you're going with this. I'm going to stop you right
Is
here.
it not? No. I thought it was a Make-A-Wish Foundation kid or something.
He's actually the son of a referee.
Really?
Yes. So he's the son of a referee. He probably just had that wristband because Braun had to look for a kid with a wristband.
Maybe, yeah.
Maybe.
But
I would think the same thing. Oh, yeah, maybe.
So just because he was...
Maybe
Was
they
that-
saw him and was like, yeah, he looks like the type of kid we want to have.
Was that the story? That was.
Don't know. I don't know what the story is, in
Because there was
Vince's
a lot
wisdom.
of speculation. I mean, you can only go so far with the internet, but I'm saying a lot of people on the internet were talking maybe Braun. I'm sorry, not Braun. We're talking about Braun's partner. Braun's partner would have been like Bray Wyatt. But turns out him and Matt Hardy are now
it's strange.
Grouping together, which, I mean, makes sense, but, we'll see what happens. People were saying Big Cass.
Who is actually, I'm thinking, going to show
I
up
saw him
tonight.
at the Hall of Fame.
He should be there tonight. They're saying he's going to
SmackDown?
return to SmackDown, yeah.
Okay, well, I mean, if that's the case, that'd be kind of cool. See what they do with Big Cass.
Yeah, why not, right?
Another big man. Why not? But you know what? I'll tell you what. Speaking from big men, we go to small women, but a small woman that can whip your ass. I'm talking about Ronda Rousey making her debut at WrestleMania. What did you think about this?
Fantastic. Dude, I was going into it just saying, I hope she doesn't botch this for her sake.
Yeah.
I hope she didn't put all that work in and it didn't pay off the way she wanted it to. But damn, dude.
She's an athlete, bro.
She is an animal.
That is an athlete to the umpteenth highest degree.
The way she sprinted across the ring and grabbed Steph by her hair. Dude, that was fast. And then, okay.
How about those rolls, dude?
Yeah.
Those rolls were awesome.
No kidding. When she lifted Triple H up, I was legit impressed.
Yeah.
I was like, I don't know if I could do that.
Ronda's a savage, dude.
Dude, it was awesome. It was awesome to see.
I love the storytelling that they put on. Ronda really can sell in the face.
She can.
They taught her, whoever had to teach her, how to sell in the face and how to do all that. Kudos to you. I don't know who was that coach, but wow, dude.
No, she worked very well. I think Kurt also did a good job for what he could do.
Yeah.
Meeting his neck and all that.
Right.
So.
It wasn't a bad match. It was I was vested. I'll tell you that.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
I was vested into the match. Another match we were both vested in was Asuka versus Charlotte Flair. The streak is over. Where do we go from here?
Asuka, I don't know. I think she should jump to SmackDown.
Mm-hmm.
But what happens? Do they have a rematch?
Oh, yeah, you got to.
I wouldn't mind seeing Asuka get the belt at Backlash.
Could happen, yeah.
Give
Charlotte some time with the title.
Give Charlotte the WrestleMania moment. Let her get the prestige of breaking the streak.
Yeah.
And then you give Asuka the title that everybody was like, yeah, she wants.
And you can
that.
build a massive program
Yeah,
with
yeah.
that.
And then if you want to, have Charlotte jump over to Raw.
There you go.
And then,
make new competition.
Yeah.
Well, the shakeup's going to be awesome.
Yeah,
it's
going to be
already proven.
interesting.
It's already proven to be something. But we'll get into that a little later. But Seth Rollins, Grand Slam champ. Your thoughts on that?
Good opening match, but anymore the Grand Slam doesn't really mean much. It's like, hey, you can win it when we feel like it. So.
Right.
It was good. It was a good opening match. It got everybody hyped up for the expectation of wrestling to be there at the night. Mm-hmm. It's kind of like the pace setter. And I think it did. I think this WrestleMania started off with a bang and, well, I can't say ended with a bang, but it ended with a surprise for sure.
Yeah, it did. But we can definitely say that something that was a bang, Daniel Bryan's return to
My
the ring.
God. I
He's
had
a
a
savage, bro.
I had a smile on my face when I saw him come down the ring. It was just like I felt so good for him.
Yeah, you genuinely felt great for
Yeah.
another person. Like, yes,
You got what
That's
you wanted.
awesome.
You
Yeah.
got what you wanted. You didn't take any shortcuts. You stuck it out, and you got your golden ticket.
for sure.
It was
for
great.
sure. What did you think of his entrance? I liked it. I liked his entrance.
I could see them doing something different with it. I got the gist of it.
Yeah,
But I wish they would have gone the route of his rehab for the because not everybody watching WrestleMania is going to be a wrestling fan.
right.
It might be, your brother's friend that's just there and he's like, "Oh, we're going to watch wrestling. This stuff's stupid." But he starts getting into it.
Yeah,
And then instead of saying, "Oh, there's this yes movement," you can show a little bit of that, but show, "Hey, this guy was out for 3 years, not able to wrestle." I mean, that's a story that writes itself.
right.
Perseverance, gutting things out.
Yeah,
He got to where he wanted to because he just believed in what he wanted to do.
yeah.
So yeah, no. As far as the entrance, I don't have as much of umbrage as it sounds like. I liked it for what it did.
Yeah.
I wish they would have gone a different route.
I liked it. I liked how it, showed who is using the yes chant. And it seems to have taken off. Well, obviously, it took a life of its own, and it's become its own movement. And I mean, I say movement, but I use that in the term of the WWE universe
Yes.
kind of thing. But it's become one of those pop culture things now that it's everywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's like really cool. And, if you backtrack like years later when you hear like a kid going, yes, yes,
Yeah, you'll know.
it's become so common nowadays.
It's almost like the too sweet.
It's almost like the
One,
too sweet.
two, sweet.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what it is? I was thinking more about this the more I watch like old wrestling matches.
Yeah.
The woo after the knife edge chop has been around for like 20 something years. It just feels. I remember reading an article in Pro Wrestling Illustrated about the phenomena of people like doing the woo after chopping somebody in the corner.
I'll tell you what else was a lot of chopping. Nakamura and AJ Styles doing a bunch of chops to each other, dude. What did you think about this match? I mean,
I was disappointed.
it wasn't to me. It didn't.
It's like
I think we were just too tired.
no.
No?
This was the match I was most looking forward to, and it's like when you bust your transmission and you can only go so fast.
You can't move it into the second gear.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like. It felt like at this point.
It seems like they didn't want it to overshadow the main event being Brock and Roman.
I don't. It may be, but then don't put it right before.
No, yeah, no.
Maybe have that match, the women's match.
They could have had a buffer. Did they not have a buffer match?
They had a few
between
buffers. The Usos match with the Bludgeon Brothers and all that. Basically the tag team matches felt like the
buffer
buffers,
matches?
yes.
Yeah.
So it was. Yeah, They could have done better.
They could have done a lot better. I liked Nakamura's entrance.
Yeah, it was great.
I liked the heel turn.
Yes.
So,
I have this figured out.
I want to see a heel Nakamura. I want to see what they do with him.
Nakamura wins the title. Nakamura against Daniel Bryan for the title.
That'd be awesome.
He's an
I could
active
see
member.
that.
Why not? Maybe he turns into this guy who's wreaking havoc in the locker room. And he's like, okay, as a GM, I have to wrestle you. Or, you can spin it anyway.
Daniel Bryan's going to wrestle everybody on the roster before he leaves. I think that's what's going to happen.
I hope so.
I think Daniel Bryan will leave, but I also would like to bet that he will wrestle everyone on the roster before he does so, or the ones that
He's going to handpick who he wants.
Yeah.
He's like, I
don't think he can go like a regular schedule. Put him kind of like the Undertaker was back when he was on SmackDown, but he wasn't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
have Daniel Bryan be that. I mean, still be around as a GM.
Yeah, but he doesn't wrestle every week.
Yeah.
Yeah, I see that. No, I'm good
Kind
with
of like
that.
what Hunter's doing right now.
Yeah.
Triple H is doing the same thing.
Yeah, a little bit more frequent, but I would love to see that.
Yeah, for sure. So, from one championship to another, we have to talk about it. What did you think of Brock versus Roman Reigns? A lot of people were very surprised that Roman didn't win the title at Mania.
I am, but not after you kind of put the pieces together. Yeah, it was a decent match. I don't know if I can say it was better than the Nakamura AJ match because it was two different styles.
It was boring. Everyone in the WWE universe in that arena was chanting, boring.
Yeah, this is awful.
It was bad. I mean, you know, I have to shoot it straight from the hip, bro. To me, it was boring because how many times have we seen Brock Lesnar suplex a fool, and how many times do we count up to 13 suplexes?
You know what? I know what messed it up for me. How many damn F5s did Brock give Roman Reigns?
Oh, yeah, right. The story, what they were trying to say that Roman's never kicked out of the F5.
Let me give you another reason why I hate watching this match.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say it.
Sure. Oh, yeah.
That stupid movement.
For those of you that don't know what Alex just did, he just did Roman Reigns' taunt, and it was for the Superman punch. So
I get it.
Yeah.
You do that so little kids can do it.
yeah,
You see little kids doing it, but the cynical wrestling part of me is like, stop.
just do it if you're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Don't call for it.
Yes.
Don't call for it.
Or if you're going to do it one time in the match.
Yeah. Not.
I don't want to
every
see you.
single time.
I don't want to see you
got
do it
bro.
and it's like, man, you've done this 4 or 5 times. Stop. Just stop.
yeah,
Stop it.
yeah.
You're a grown ass man.
Yeah, it does get old when you see that. Like it's like saying Kamehameha, Kamehameha. Dragon Ball Z, dude.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's Dragon Ball Z. It's Street Fighter.
No. Hadouken never gets old.
But Hadouken doesn't. Yeah, you're right.
Hadouken is
right.
that's sacred.
That is sacred.
We're gonna get back to this.
Yeah,
Reigns
for sure.
and Lesnar.
But here's the thing, dude. With the spot where they did the hard way, the bleeding the hard way on Roman,
Yeah.
that was just as rushed as soon as they wanted to go home. They were
Yeah.
like, okay, they do not like it. They don't like what's going on. They know it sucks. We got to do something. I'm going to open you up. And I think that was like
The cue.
I think that was not, it was their cue, but it was kind of like, hey, if they start to turn on us,
Here's our
this
fallback.
Here's what we got to do.
Oh.
And so
Yeah, I
I
can
think
see
that
that.
whole blood streaming down Roman's face, let me be honest. Am I a fan of Roman Reigns? No. Is it because I think it's cool to hate Roman Reigns? No. I just am not a fan of Roman Reigns.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's fair.
But that dude looked like a total badass with that blood coming down his face. And I like I forget who said it, but they referenced a Samoan thing. They said something like it's that Samoan heritage. Like he sees his own blood, he's gonna lose
he gets the rage.
He gets the rage, and I thought that was like, that's cool. But if that's where you want to go, you're gonna have to
I give it a 2,
dirty homeboy's face up a little.
2
bit.
or 3 on the Hiroshi Hase scale, or the Muda scale. And I thought it was fake at the first. When I first saw it, I was like, "Wow, that's really." It's kind of cheesy.
Yeah.
And then when I kept looking, I was like, wow, if he's really bleeding, that's more blood than I've seen in the WWE.
That's how
in a
Randy
long
was,
time.
dude.
Yeah.
Remember when he did that
He got
to
elbowed.
Randy?
Yeah,
He
that
did
was
the same thing. He did the same exact thing. Dude.
That was more of like
Yeah.
I don't know if that was supposed to happen.
We weren't expecting it, but see, when you saw it at Mania, it was like, all right,
It was a gimmick.
yeah, I don't care. Like, beat him up.
Yeah.
I know you're.
Let's
probably
just
not gonna
finish
be around.
this.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's like the inevitable. It's just like, okay, I get it. Fine. Move on.
yeah. I think it was kind of like the stigma of like the Goldberg versus Brock match with Stone Cold as the
Enforcer?
special. Yeah, I think that's what the fans were feeling at the time. But, however, Brock has re-signed with WWE,
And so has Paul Heyman.
so
Where do we go from here?
Well, they've booked the match Roman Reigns against Brock Lesnar at the Greatest Royal Rumble match in Saudi Arabia.
And that's where they're going to give him the title.
Oh yeah, that's where they do it. Brock drops it to Roman. Roman carries it for a little while, and who's the guy that's going to come up and try to take it from him?
Bobby Lashley.
There you go.
Bobby Lashley.
Or Bobby Lashley. I think that's your best bet. Samoa Joe could be a hat in the race.
I like what they did on Monday Night Raw with Samoa Joe coming out and confronting Roman Reigns, just basically calling him a failure. It's like, yeah, I mean, you can't cut it another way. You failed. And
really?
Yeah. I'm into it. I am into what I hope is that I know they've faced each other before.
Right.
But I want them to I want Samoa Joe to be that much more pissed off.
Oh yeah.
Like, I'm Samoan. Why am I not getting the same opportunities you are? Blah, blah, blah. Really have a chip on his shoulder.
Samoa Joe will definitely carry that match. I think Samoa Joe is just going to wreck house. I mean, it was awesome the way they introduced him, the way they introduced Bobby Lashley to Elias. Jeff Hardy's back.
Yes, he is.
So we've got more. I mean, it seems like the talent is starting to come back. To
Ember Moon.
Ember Moon is now on Raw. Authors of Pain.
Well, let me ask you this before we finish this up.
Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, what was your WrestleMania?
Okay. I'm going to give it 2.5 jalapenos out of 4. That's like a C.
That's your rating scale?
That's my rating scale.
Okay. That's good.
That's my rating scale. What?
2.5 jalapenos out of 4.
There you go. It's quick. It's concise.
Okay.
You know what the heat is when you have 2.5 jalapenos,
I'm getting hungry.
Well, me too.
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. 7 for the first 2 hours.
Yeah.
That last hour it
Dragged.
could have been one of the best. And it
fell flat on its face.
It did.
It really did.
With nobody's fault but the WWE. They did what they thought may have been right in the long run. And it might be. We're only seeing this a day out.
Right.
We can go back in 5 months and be like, wow, they really knew what they were doing. But as it stands, 7 out of 10.
Yeah. And then you know what? Send us what you guys think. Go ahead and comment here on this video, or you can go ahead and comment on Instagram. Send us messages at One Sweet Wrestling Podcast on Instagram, at One Sweet Wrestling Podcast on Facebook. Just send us your thoughts, your opinions on this year's WrestleMania, and where do you think the company is going to go from here? Now, Alex, I know you always have a question for me, so I'm going to go ahead and ask you a question after all of this.
Ooh.
And I know it was a question that I kind of posted on episode 18, but since this is episode 20, bro, this is very special here. So I'm going to ask you this question. Pick which brand you want to be the general manager of, either Raw or SmackDown. Give me your top 5 picks.
Where can I pull from?
You're pulling from NXT, Raw, SmackDown.
No, I'm good with that.
Yeah, let's just go WWE Universe.
My champion is Kevin Owens.
Is that your number 1 pick?
Number 1 pick.
Okay.
Number 2, AJ.
Okay.
3, Charlotte. 4, Elias.
Okay.
And 5, Samoa Joe.
Nice.
Who do you have?
That's strong. Woo! I'm going to go my number 1 pick. I'm going with Braun.
Yeah, that's good.
I'm going to go with Braun on that one. Then I'm going to go with... So can I pick... can I pick people from your team even though, you picked? Are we drafting against each other?
You can if you want. You're setting the rules here, dude.
Okay, well, whatever, man. I'm just going to pick whoever I want then. Let me pick. All right, so let's do... I got Braun. I'll do... You know what? I'm going to go Aleister Black
That's a strong pick.
as my number 2. Number 3, I'm going to go Asuka. Number 4, I'm going to go with... See, I'm kind of following your style because I do like what you did there. Good strategy. I would pick probably... You know what? I'm going to go Seth Rollins.
That's a solid pick.
And then number 5, I'm going with The Miz.
Yeah, I can see that. He's a good mouthpiece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would be my pick.
I'd like to see that as a 5, like a Survivor Series, mixed Survivor Series.
We should try to do that on a video game or something one day. See how that looks.
That'd be cool.
I don't know. But look, that was a lot of wrestling to cover. But look, April 13th, if you live in San Antonio, Texas, you better get your booty, your behind over to the Guillotine and check out heavy metal wrestling.
Starting at 9 o'clock.
Starting at 9 o'clock. So you definitely want to be there. Look, I'm going to set you up right. You've got Main Street Pizza right across the street. Go get you a slice. Go over to Hog Wild Record Shop. Get you a local band CD. Support the local scene. Check out the awesome flyers and various T-shirts and patches, stickers, all kinds of cool stuff, band gear. Then you go over, you get you a pre-snack. Do you pre-snack? I like to pre-snack.
Usually, yeah.
Yeah. So you got to get you a pre-snack over at the food truck.
My pre-snack usually involves a pre-meal. That's the thing.
What do you pre-meal?
Usually something greasy like a burger.
See, there you go. You get you a burger at the
after I get my slice. Yeah, that sounds like something I'm going to do.
Yeah, you get you a burger, and then you go in, you get you a drink. Whiskey Coke for me. Thank you very much. And thank you very much, Charles. He actually hooked me up with a whiskey and Coke at the Luchador, so that was really
Right
nice
on.
of him. Nice young man there. Yeah, dude. Then you go in, get yourself a drink, watch some awesome wrestling, and take in this awesome metal music from Chaotic End. Definitely check those guys out. I mean, it's all for the price of $10. So, I mean, have a good time. Enjoy the experience. That's what wrestling's all about. And it's all about opportunity and experience and fun. That's what I think so.
I back that.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, Alex, I don't think there's anything left to say, but...
We out.